Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a fantastic day, great weekend. It's a little windy here in Vegas, but it's warming up. But I hear it's gonna cool down. I don't know, this crazy springtime weather, right? Hope it's nice where you're at. If you could just put here where you're from, say hello, welcome, and if you have any questions about liposuction, fat transfer, how to get rid of this big hanging belly. So you'll see we have many pictures, many examples of women, plus size women, larger women, women who have been told by plastic surgeons that they need a tummy tuck or that they're too big, their BMI is too high, that they need to lose weight. These are the women that we're helping. So if you're interested, first thing is jump on our website. We can get you a quick quote where you can get your pricing immediately. No waiting, you don't have to send any pictures. It's based off of your BMI, which we don't use to restrict you, but rather to categorize the pricing. So you can get your quick quote immediately. Then when you're serious, the next step is then getting your paid consultation. It's $100. You get 30 minutes with myself or Kale. We'll review pictures, discuss any issues, and develop a plan. Clearly, we've done this a lot of times, so it's like rinse and repeat. And if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, you can join and speak with many of our previous patients. The private Facebook group is, if you can go search My Shape Lipo Support Group. That's where you're going to find many of our previous patients. So some people have gotten the procedure like 5, 6, 7 years ago, so they bring tons of experience and knowledge following the procedure, the recovery, the healing process, not only the healing process, because the healing process is like the first year, but living with the new changes. It's a psychology change, and it's the way that you have to start living a new lifestyle in order to get the best results. So who better to teach you that than to have someone that's done this and gone through the path. 97, maybe me. I am so interested in getting lipo. Well, what kind of questions do you have? We can help you. Okay, Michael Alago, how much for a tummy tuck? Sorry, my friend, we don't do tummy tucks. All of the pictures that you see are no tummy tuck. So this is no cutting, no big scars, and you can look, let me zoom in a little bit for you so you can kind of see. So these are not small individuals. These are not their ideal weight individuals. These are larger individuals. Obviously we can, if we can do this with a large person, imagine what we can do with a smaller person. So I show these not to be that this is all we do. However, I show the larger ones because it's more exciting, especially for these lives. You can see it. It's a small picture, but you can see such a huge dramatic change. And on some of these larger individuals, we have to restrict the area where we treat in order to maximize the amount of fat that we get out. So you can see with this one here, we treated the front of the abdomen. We got a significant amount of fat out of there, enough to make that fold go away. And you can see how that belly button changed. It looks really cool. Now, if you zoom in close, you can see the skin is not perfect. There's no perfection here. However, it's significantly better. And the reality is a lot of these women, they're not looking to get into bikinis and going, showing out their bellies off with, belly shirts. They're looking to look better in clothes and just feel better about themselves. In addition, a lot of this, especially the larger ones, when we take out a lot of fat, it makes a significant change to your health. And so when I mean by health, the improvements that people get from liposuction, we see dramatic changes in the blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, when you take off large amounts of fat, it can decrease your blood pressure. Also, the diabetics or pre-diabetics, those of you who are having issues dealing with your blood sugars, removing the fat allows your body to manage the blood sugars better. And honestly, I don't exactly know how this works. There's no studies on it. People don't talk about this, but this is things that I've seen personally. I've been doing it for 15 years, thousands and thousands of procedures, and I've seen this personally time and time again, so I know it's real. I know it works. In fact, just this last week, I had this patient call me and told me their story that she was able to, she's 4 months out from her procedure now, she was able to decrease her blood pressure medication to a quarter of what she was taking, this young lady here. So we did the liposuction of the waistline here, and you can see that it's made a huge dramatic change physically, but her blood pressure medication changed. She's only taking a quarter of what she normally takes. In addition, that's not even the exciting part. The additional thing is that she has PCOS. Many of you I know have been asking questions about this. Is it okay to get liposuction with PCOS? In fact, not only is it okay, but she claims and this is not me claiming, she claims that since her procedure, her period has been regular every single month. And as PCOS, and having PCOS, she states that her period previously was like once every 6 months, once a year, like very random. And now she said it's regular, which, you know, to me, that sounds like a big deal. You know, I'm not a female, and I don't understand how big of a change that makes in your life, but it sounds like that would make a big deal in a person's life. I don't know. But the cool thing is I like to point these things out because liposuction is way more than cosmetic. And you got to get it out of your head, this programming that this is just it's just to look better. Looking better is a side effect, okay? Health is the benefit. You're able to do things that you weren't able to do. Confidence is the benefit. These are the tangible things that you're going to experience after liposuction. Looking good, it's like buying a sports car. You're going to like it. It's going to look good. You're going to feel all whatever, but it kind of wears off after a while. The look is just, okay, now it just becomes, this is who you are. But if you don't change the mindset and keep advancing forward in your life, you're going to get stagnant. And unfortunately, there's going to be people in this life that fall back into the old patterns. And when you fall back into the old patterns, you know, you fall back into the same problems. All right, any questions? I'm here for you. Is a procedure totally under or awake? So the question, it refers to, this is 97 Maybe Me. Are we totally under, meaning general anesthesia, or are you awake? And all the procedures that we do are while you are awake using the tumescent technique. So it's local anesthesia. We numb only the area that we treat and get out all this fat. Look at this. This is incredible. I mean, I see these, you know, every day when I do these these lives, and it still blows me away every time I see it. And I try to imagine how big of a difference it's made in this person's life, and from all the little small details of how it would have changed their life, to where, you know, simple hygiene issues, wearing your clothes, being around friends and family that, you know, you felt embarrassed about, being able to do things that you've never done before because now you feel confident, be able to wear clothes that you've never worn before. See, Sarah, a bunch of numbers. How much is the 360? So Sarah, you have the ability right as we speak, as I'm speaking right now, you can go jump on our quick quote system. So on, well, you're on Instagram. So on our website, myshapelipo.com, you can click on the link there for the quick quote while we're speaking and get your quote immediately. The prices are going to depend on your BMI. So our scale is categorized based off of your height and weight, and we've defined that in a way that it can tell us the volume of fat that we need to remove, which just allows us to price things properly. I see cats in full effect on the MyShape side. Oh no, we're having some issues on Facebook. Okay. Gotta love social media. So some of the things I want to just talk about today is what is the right things to do following your procedure. You know, you may see, and there's a lot of, we have a lot of people that are sharing their stories publicly, and, you know, patients that are talking things and telling you their stories of what they're doing. And sometimes it's people that are a positive influence or a positive example to follow, and other people do things the wrong way. So you have to kind of, you know, have a little knowledge and experience to back you up in order for you to make the right decision. So you're going to see things on both sides, whether you should do things this way or this way, and you have to have the experience and wherewithal to make the right decision for yourself. Sarah, real quick, how many liters can you remove? You know, it's variable per individual, but clearly, you know, we're taking out enough to get these results, so you should be focused on the results. Okay, I'm gonna restart the Facebook one.
Before you do, make sure you check you're on the right internet. Might have
Okay.
switched.
All right, I'm pretty sure. PRI1?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sorry about this little delay here. I'm just gonna start it up. Facebook, hopefully that'll work. All right, welcome back, Facebook. So after these procedures, it's so important, when people have issues following these procedures, you have to realize that there's no like secret sauce that we put on you, or magic that we fairy dust that we drizzle all over you when you leave, that's going to protect you from doing things when you leave our office. So it's important that you take care of yourself, right? Because if you're not taking care of yourself, there's no way that us or anyone else can know unless you inform us that you need help. So the first thing is you just have to understand that it's your responsibility. It's your body. It's your responsibility. As with everything else in your life, it's your responsibility to take care of yourself and make sure that you are getting the care that you deserve, that you want. And whether that means you need to call us to get better care, or whether it means you need to be asking better questions, or maybe you just need to be doing the right things. So after these procedures, you are only as clean as you were the last time you washed yourself. Let me just get that out. You are only as clean as you were the last time you washed yourself. So when you leave our office, we make sure that you're clean. We use betadine. It's meticulous. It kills everything. Okay. When you leave our office, everything is dead. Not only that, you're taking antibiotics, which kills all the bacteria on the inside of you. So we're like shotgun approach at all this stuff to keep everything clean and sterile. When you leave our office, though, you're only as clean as the next time you clean yourself. So if you don't clean yourself again for a week, then that whole week you were dirty. That's nothing that we can control. So it's important that again, take responsibility for yourself. Clean your wounds. Make sure that they're protected. With this type of procedure, you're going to have tiny little holes, not all over the pores, but strategically placed throughout your body. But there's going to be quite a few of them. So you're going to have quite a few open wounds to manage. And you can see how they look right here. It's a little reddish. Typically the scars will be, a bit swollen and reddish purple color for the first year, and until the scars start to retract back and turn back to normal flesh color, whatever your normal flesh color is. And sometimes it's possible that they always have a darker color. It's just, this is a risk that you take going into any procedure, not just liposuction, any procedure. In fact, if you skinned your knee, you're going to take a risk of getting a scar. It is what it is. If you choose to go and do these type of things, you have to accept certain consequences. And if you don't accept them and understand the risks that you're taking, then you have to either do more research or decide to take a different option. Now, in comparison to a huge tummy tuck scar, these are nothing. However, the important thing is keeping them clean, keeping them protected. One of the issues I've seen many times is some of the wounds that are closer down on the hips or the waistline. It happens to be right at where you wear your pants, and right at where you wear your pants, you're going to have some potential friction and movement, and that movement will cause irritation to the wound, which makes it difficult for it to heal. So it's important to protect these things. And again, nobody else is going to do it except for you. Nobody else knows that it's an irritation except for you. So you just have to become conscious of yourself, so you get the best possible results. I can only offer information. This is why I'm out here like with my bullhorn trying to teach you as much as you can. So when you get into this, you totally know exactly what to do. And if you don't know exactly what to do, that's okay. We're here for you. Everybody gets my phone number, so you can contact me directly. I mean, it's amazing. 24 hours a day, you have 24-hour service. The interesting thing is that not everybody takes advantage of that. Instead, they think they're going to ask their friends and family that don't really know, and then they trust their opinion. And that's where you get in trouble. So first thing I would say is make sure you're part of the group. After you have these procedures, make sure you're part of the group. Before you have procedures, make sure you're part of the group. It's an education that you're going to get from our previous patients that it far exceeds any education you'll get on liposuction anywhere on the internet. Far exceeds. You're getting personal information, personal recommendations from people who have actually had the procedure, and you can communicate with them directly, so you can trust. All right, we got a question here on Facebook. What's up, Christina? Okay, can you get this procedure done if you have high blood pressure and other health risks? In fact, you can, Christina. I was just speaking about this earlier. The health benefits of liposuction are incredible. When you remove this much fat off of people, it impacts their body, and it makes a difference. And in fact, high blood pressure is one of those things that it's actually partially caused because of the fat. It's one of the contributing factors. And if you think about this, you have all this fat, say, hanging around your belly. Your body has to maintain that fat and keep it alive, and it does that through creating tiny little blood vessels that go and they feed all these little fat cells. So it brings nutrients and sugars and lipids and whatever the fat cells need to survive. We're constantly feeding it, right? So when we remove those fat cells, the body no longer needs all those like miles and miles of tiny blood vessels that were feeding the fat, right? And we also no longer need all that nutrients and everything that was feeding that fat as well. Make sense? Okay. When we take that stuff out, now your heart doesn't have to pump as hard to feed the rest of your body. It's not feeding that fat anymore. So, therefore, there's less push, less strain on the heart, lowers your blood pressure. It makes it so your heart's going to last longer. Think about that. A little bit less stress on your heart now, you multiply that by 10 years and all of a sudden your heart's like acting a lot younger. You have the ability to do more because there's not as much stress on your heart. I'm telling you, there's so many health benefits to liposuction that are just not discussed because our medical care system wants to believe that this is a cosmetic procedure and insurance don't want to cover it. So nobody wants to do any studies on this stuff. And that sucks. But you need to be smarter than that. You need to realize and you need to just hear what I'm saying. I didn't do studies on this stuff, but I've seen thousands of people go through this stuff. And don't trust me, go talk to our patients. What's up, Christina? Wow, I'll have to do my research then and consider this procedure. How much fat can one remove with this procedure? We remove quite a bit, Christina. It's not about the volume, but look at the results. We remove enough to make a big difference. And it's more importantly, it's all these are done safely. We're trying to get huge dramatic change for you while keeping everything as safe as possible. Andrea Torres says, I have a belly like the picture before. Is it possible to take out more than that? So Andrea, we take out what we can take out for each individual's body. Some people could tolerate more, other people can't. So you got to take these pictures with kind of a grain of salt. This is what's possible for them. It's not what's possible for you. And you may find somebody that looks like you, same height, weight, shape, size, color, creed, I don't know, whatever else you guys may look at, but you'll find someone that's similar to you and you can kind of get an idea, but you still have to realize that it's not you. You have something different. Your connectivity, your body connections and the fibrous tissue that's holding everything together, it's different. Your skin tone, your skin quality, everything's different. And these are microscopic things that you can't tell just by looking at a person. But everybody's different, and that's why the results are going to be somewhat different. It's just different, and sometimes people carry their fat differently. Sometimes these individuals were getting a lot of fat out of them, and maybe that's all their body tolerated at that point. Maybe there's more in there to get out. It is possible, but we're doing this to the safe way. Until we're keeping people to where they're walking away and they're able to function. Okay, Rebecca, you did my procedure 3 years ago and my body still looks amazing. That's awesome. I love hearing it. And the only reason that is, and I'm going to tell you the only reason that is because she takes care of herself. It's not me. As soon as she leaves our office, it's all on her after that. You either look good or you continue to get worse. And she chose to change her lifestyle and improve her life on a daily basis. And that, my friends, is what I found is the key to long-term success. It's this constant and never-ending change and improvement. And so if you're not constantly improving and getting better, in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, you're going to be on a downhill slope. And in fact, a lot of people believe that is what has to happen. We've been programmed, and you got to change your paradigm. We don't have to decline with age. You don't have to do that. If you put the effort in the time, you can actually improve and get better. You work out a little bit more, you eat a little bit better food, you drink a little bit more water, you be a little bit more active, just a little bit. And it's a steady improvement. And that steady improvement, when you compound that with years, that's when the magic starts to happen for you. But you got to believe and you got to trust and you just have to do. You just have to do. What's up, Blanca? Okay, Nina. Do you have to be awake for the procedure? I get so nauseous and don't want to watch it. We do have patients that are like you, Nina. We do have nausea medication, and some people they don't want to hear, they don't want to see. Um, so we try to accommodate them. Where you can cover your eyes, kind of like put a towel over your face, your eyes, so you can't see, and you can wear headphones if you want to not hear. We listen. I personally like to listen to music, so we try to keep you distracted and busy. That's why we have our medical assistants. Their job is to be like your surrogate family member, where they're holding your hand, stroking your hair, talking to you, you know, coaching you through the whole process, reminding you to keep breathing. It's we do the best that we can to get you through it. Everybody gets through it. It's just a matter of whether how you tolerate and how you see things. But I can tell you that the people that anticipate a hard time are typically those who, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You make the belief come true. When you claim that you always get nauseous, then this is the next time, and since you always get nauseous, then you should get nauseous this time. And if that's what your mentality is, the mindset going into it, then you're probably going to fulfill your prophecy. But you got to change, you got to improve, you got to do things different, and try not to be scared. And I know that's hard. I know it's so hard. But through education, it's the replacing the fear with knowledge. And talking to some of our previous patients through the group, that's a great way to ease your concerns and get a better understanding of what you can expect. Christina says, "Can I be up during the procedure? I have a fear of being put to sleep." Absolutely, Christina. And Nina says, yeah, as Christina says, they're the exact opposites. That's funny. And this is going to appeal to different people, right? There's going to be those people that have a fear of general anesthesia because, the truth is there are a lot of problems with general anesthesia. And most of the major complications with any surgery across the board, most of the complications come from general anesthesia or they're anesthesia related. This is why the anesthesiologist makes so much money. It's a really high risk job. They take care of people and they're giving them medications that stop them from breathing. Then we have to put them on a breathing machine with a tube down their throat. So this is every surgery they do this when they put general anesthesia. You have to put a tube down your throat and they breathe for you. They keep you alive. So if God forbid power goes out and the backup generators don't work, sorry, good luck. And it is what it is. So each of you individuals will make the choice. Typically the younger people, they don't know the risks, so they're going to be more apt to say, I'm just going to go to sleep because our programming says it's just going to sleep. That's clearly not the case. It's not just going to sleep. There's a much more complex chemical thing that's going on with our body that's causing a lot of other reactions. So Christina, I'm on your side, obviously. This is what I do, is we do this without general anesthesia. Local anesthesia is significantly better for you. It doesn't have the same systemic effect that the general anesthesia does. See. Nina says she's watched our lives and it's a bit rough. Not that he's doing anything wrong. Nina, it's funny because people have this belief that surgeries of any sort or procedures that like liposuction, that they're like gentle. And I got news for you. I've worked on a lot of different surgeries. I did spine surgery is a lot more delicate, but I used to do orthopedic surgery and joints and hands and elbows and shoulders and knees, and there's nothing nice about surgery. Once you're asleep, it's like a rag doll. They just we move you around in whatever position we want you in, and there's no concern of causing any pain. So it's like slice right in, don't even think. We do whatever we want as surgeons in the surgical situation when you're asleep, and as the patient being asleep, there's no recourse, and you have no idea what's going on. So you may not realize that, but I'm just speaking from my experience. So when you say that what I do is rough, man, you just wait and see. I mean, you won't see because you'll be asleep. But the rough. It's a lot rougher when you're asleep, a lot rougher. In fact, I have to be, less rough than when you're asleep since you are awake. So when you're asleep, it's a lot more physical. Yeah, Christina's saying exactly why I get this procedure and not make some lifestyle changes. It's so important to make those lifestyle changes in congruence with the procedure, and it's a combination. It works together. You have to work with your body, you have to work with your mind, you have to do everything in conjunction all at the same time to get these kind of results. And not only to get these results, because we can get these results without you doing a whole lot in most cases. However, if you don't follow through after the procedure, you don't continue with the lifestyle changes, then you only recreate the same problems. It's just a matter of time. Okay, Rosario, I'm in town, would like to come in for a consult, leaving, I'm not sure. It's weird, it kind of, on Facebook cuts off some of these messages.
Yeah, they do.
It's weird. So Rosario, we're not, I prefer personally to do these consults virtually with pictures, and we've done thousands of them, so I'm pretty confident in, I know what I'm seeing in most cases. However, there's going to be some times when I'm stumped. It's a two-dimensional photo, so if it's necessary, if we believe it's necessary, then we can always get you in the office. But I would highly suggest just try going through our process first, and if we go through the phone consultation, and you still, both of us still believe that there's more to be seen, and it's important that it's seen beforehand to make decisions, then I'm happy to meet with you. And we are in the office, but it's just easier to do these things over the phone. But we'll work with you. We're flexible. Christina says, I have anxiety, so I'm just hoping if I do something like this, I can control it. It is a mind over matter. Well, I'm glad that you see it that way, Christina, because in fact, I agree. It is mind over matter. And in a way, for me personally, I would utilize this as a way to prove to myself that I can overcome. And so if you position this as a challenge for you personally, that you know that this is something that is going to be difficult for you, if you challenge yourself to prove that it is possible, and when you overcome, in fact, when you do overcome, when you do accomplish that's where it just kicks your confidence way up, because you proved to yourself that you can do it, that anything is possible for you if you put your mind to it. And when you do that, it takes you to the next level. And yes, my friends, there are many, many levels to this confidence game. And as you rise the ladder of confidence and improve your life, it improves every other aspect of your life. When you start feeling better about yourself, you start speaking better about yourself. You start communicating better with your friends and your family. You're just you resonate on a different frequency. You can communicate with people differently because you're on the same plane as them. When you have this victim mentality, when the world just happens to you, nothing seems to go your way, you expect bad things to happen to you. On the flip side, when you feel good about yourself, life's going great, you expect good things to happen to you, and what do you know? You're going to start seeing more good things. And the truth is they're always there. The good things are there and the bad things are there. They're always there. It's what do you see? When you walk into a room, do you immediately focus on the negative or do you focus on the positive? What do you see? And that will dictate your experience of life in all aspects of your life. Is what are you seeing? Are you seeing the positive or are you seeing the negative? Do you want to experience the negative or do you want to experience the positive? Now, some people like having that drama in their lives, and it fulfills something in them. And that's okay, if that's what you want. If you want to live in that realm where you have that anxiety, fear of negative things happening in the future, or regrets and depression about things that have happened in the past, if you want to live in those different realms, then you can. But at some point you have to kind of come together in the now and realize what's happening right now. And maybe you're in a good place and it's continue forward, but maybe you're in a bad place and it's time to change. And if you're ready to change, that's when you need to just step out of your comfort zone and step to the next level. Now, if you've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and you keep kicking the can down the road. I'll do it next year. I'll do it when this happens, when that happens. I'll do it after my kids are out of school, or whatever it is. Now, once you get this procedure and you get this body and you start improving, you're gonna kick yourself and be like, why did I wait so long? There's no reason. There's no reason to wait to live your best life. And maybe it's not liposuction, but live your best life, whatever that means. It means get healthier, eat better foods, get more active, read more, improve yourself. It's a constant improvement. And if you're not doing these things, then you're sliding backwards. Imagine like fruit. That ripe peach is nice and soft and juicy. You bite into it and it splatters all over you. It's great. It's good, right? It's ripe. But if you don't eat it quickly, it starts to decay and die. So that's what most people are. Once you get to that right point, your prime, as we call it, your prime, and then we believe that there's a downhill slide. And it doesn't have to be a downhill slide. You're choosing for it to be a downhill slide because you believe that that's what it's supposed to be. And I'm telling you right now, it doesn't have to be. I'm 45 years old, and all my friends are telling me they're too old for everything. And it drives me crazy. And so I got to go make friends that are in their 20s because they're the only ones that are able to keep up with me. I have so much energy. You can do it too. I do a lot of things to improve myself. I've been playing this game for about 8 years now, 6, 7, 8 years. It's been good, and all the things that I'm doing have compiled and compounded in my mind and my body, and I've become what I am now. But I've become what I am now because of my habits. And so what I try to teach is that you are a combination of your habits. So the daily habits that you do, your body and mind will accumulate in time. And you have to be able to have the patience and discipline to stick with these habits in order to see the long-term benefits. Because all things change. It just takes it takes time. Okay. Smart Lipo was the best choice. It tightens my skin. I felt no pain during and after the procedure. That's awesome. So just so, we do use Smart Lipo on all of the front of the abdomens, all of the arms, all the inner thighs. It's all included in our package. So you're going to get the best possible results. And I try to eliminate the choices. So when you're going to need these things, I'm just going to do it for you because I think it's the best thing. Just similarly, when we treat the front of the abdomen, we're going to go all the way into the pubic area and make the whole entire front flat and look awesome. Like that's the goal. We're going to do the best things for you. Okay, Lisa says, I can't be away from my daughter for 4 days. Is it really necessary to be there that long? Lisa, necessary is a questionable word, I guess, right? So there are people who do things differently and they get possibly different results, or maybe they get the same. It's hard to say. Guidelines that we utilize they're safety recommendations. These are what we recommend. If you choose to follow them, then it'll give you the best chance for not having problems afterwards. And if you choose not to follow them and something happens, then you just have to realize, well, I didn't follow the directions, so you deal with what you deal with. And it's okay. I am not a direction follower. I didn't follow the directions myself. That's cool, but I paid the consequences. So me personally, this is what I did. I got the procedure. I rode my motorcycle home that night, and I came back to work the next day and kept working. And I never slowed down. Never took a break. Okay, that's possible. However, I ended up swelling up a lot more than most people, and I chose to take off my garment after the first week. Stupid, right? I mean, I do this, but stupid. That's 15 years ago. And so my mistakes, I now teach to do the opposite. Okay? So you can leave early, you can drive home. I know people have demands and needs in their life. That's okay. Just prepare the best that you can. The reason why we recommend not traveling right after the procedure is there's a couple reasons. It's messy, so you're gonna be draining all this fluid. We use a lot of fluid to get you numb, and so it drains. It's messy. It's gross. So in your car, it could make a mess, and it might cause some issues. Traveling on an airplane, it might cause an issue. You going through security. You don't want to be this person going through security with fluid dripping down your leg, and people are like pointing and laughing or questioning. So it's totally up to you. We have people that go against our recommendations, and some people do well, some people don't. We typically don't talk about that stuff because, we want people to do the right thing. So I hope that helped. I'm not advocating bad stuff, but you got to do what you got to do. Nina says, I think it's usually the pain meds. I'm just sensitive to them. I think, but I see exactly what you're saying. Nina, the pain meds and stuff are on any procedure, and they're usually taken afterwards. If it's general anesthesia and you had nausea issues, the nausea was usually from general anesthesia. And just so you know, Nina, we do give you we can give you anti-nausea medication on the day of the procedure. Okay, can you do upper and lower abdomen? I have a kangaroo pouch and back at the same time. Completely flat, skin tightening as well. So Andrea, if you go check out our quick quote on Facebook, you can go, it's right up on the post here. You can click on the link, or you can go to our website, myshapelipo.com. We have different recommendations based on your height and weight. So based on your BMI, it tells us the volume of fat that we're going to be removing from your body. So it'll, and you can get that information immediately right now. You don't have to wait for me. You don't have to send any pictures. It's based off of your height and weight. So larger individuals, we are unable to do the complete 360 all the way around because we're going to be removing so much fat off of just the front of the abdomen. So safety purposes, like when you take out this much fat off of one specific area, you get these kind of results. But to try to do the entire 360 would cause health issues and health risks for the for the patient. So we've created these safety guidelines to help keep people safe. All right. Kira Green on YouTube says, I want lipo so I can move more. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Now we're talking. Those, Kira, you're the type of person I want to work with. I want people who are ready to change their life and get from under this oppressive blanket of fat that's holding you back. Those are the people I really want to help and change their lives. So we got Christina is one that's an advocate for being awake, and Nina's an advocate for being asleep. So it's kind of fun. We can play both sides, right? See Rebecca, what's up, Rebecca Rexroad? If you guys haven't connected with Rebecca, she's the best. She's one of the administrators on our private Facebook group, My Shape Lipo Support Group. She's there. She's also a previous patient multiple times and a mom. She's an amazing woman. So let's see what Rebecca has to say. I like that I was able to know that I was going on precisely who is working on me. Being asleep, you never really know. It's funny you say that, Rebecca. I was talking about some people that went down to Florida and Miami, and they have these liposuction mills where it's cheap. But you show up the day of surgery and there's 40 patients out there just sitting there waiting for their procedure. 40 patients the day of the procedure, and you're just like in a mill. And there's only 4 surgeons. You're like, what? 4 surgeons are going to do 10 procedures each? That's probably not going to be the case. But each of them have a team of medical assistants and who knows what else they got. So when you are put to sleep, you never really know what they're doing. That's the truth. And, we like to trust, right? It's good to trust the people that are working on you, but the truth is you just don't know. And I don't know. I'm personally a skeptic, so I'm a fan of doing this while you're awake. But you make your choices. You gotta decide on what makes sense to you, and you're gonna be guided through your mind. Your mind's gonna guide you towards the right answers here. And if you're scared of being awake, then maybe you're gonna be guided towards being put to sleep. And you know what? Once you do that, and you'll have an experience with that. Then from that experience, you'll say, I'm never going to do that again. Or you can say, that's the right thing for me. So you have to go with your guides and just listen to what's right for you. Christina says, so true. I don't take meds for my anxiety. Whenever I feel a panic attack coming on, I control it. I just tell myself I'll be okay, and so far it works. Okay, Christina, here's a really cool technique that I learned. It's called box breathing, and if you look into pranayama or breathing techniques and yogic breathing techniques, they teach you different simple breathing things that'll really relax you. And this is if you've heard the term alchemy, this is the alchemy is the historically it was where you turn lead into gold. But alchemy of the body is we can create the chemicals in our body to change the state of being. So when we can do that through our breathing. Box breathing is 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds out, 5 seconds hold. It's a box. 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds out, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds in, and it's a circular or box, a square, and that is a way to calm your nerves, and it stimulates the vagus nerve, autonomous nervous system, and it calms the body, calms the mind. And when you're getting anxiety, something simple as just breathing will center you and ground you and bring you back into the now. Because the truth is, the anxiety is fear of the future that doesn't actually exist yet. It's an idea. And once you realize that it's just an idea and brings you back to the now, once you get grounded, it'll calm you down. Just a trick. Try it out. Nina, do you recommend wearing a faja after the procedure? Of course. Everyone does. I don't know anyone who doesn't recommend that. You're naturally going to be swelling after the procedure, so everybody gets a compression garment. The garments that we supply you, they're going to fit everybody, but it doesn't fit anybody great. Some of the issues that these garments have is that the garments, they fold and bend. So the garment that we put on, they're not rigid. So when we put it on there, it's possible that now that you have an hourglass figure or a scoop to your back now, that these straight garments are going to indent in, and they're causing ridges on your skin. So it's important to use tools like Lipo foam to alleviate some of these irregularities or ridging of the skin. And better garments, there are some garments that have different, I don't know what they call them, like boning or something in there that gives them some more rigidity that stops them from folding and things of that nature. So you may want to look into that. Our garments, they're meant to fit everybody because we treat a lot of different people, a lot of different body types. So it's impossible for us to stock every single garment. It is what it is. Okay, Corinne's in here. It says every little change is in the right direction means you are starting a momentum in that direction. Pick up the pace and get there faster. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And she kind of alluded to this concept and idea that I've discussed in the past. It's about compressing time. So you need to do these things, and you can spread them out. Like for example, just one simple habit that I've been implementing for the past few years is I started reading every day. And I first started out with 15 minutes a day, which coincidentally is a 1% of the minutes in the day. So 1% of the minutes in the day, if you spend reading something new, you can educate yourself. And if you compound that over every single day for years, it ends up being like a significant difference in your life. Like you're reading 20 books a year. It's a huge dramatic change in your life, but it comes from 15 minutes a day, compounded. Okay, these micro shifts, these micro changes compounded over time is how you change your life. It's not make a decision and read 20 books. Like if you're thinking that way, you'll never get there because you're going to be overwhelmed. It's thinking about all I got to do is read 15 minutes a day. No big deal, and you can do it. Same thing is all I have to do is work out 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, and as you start doing these things on a consistent basis, then it's like it's no big deal. Well, I can just add another 5 minutes. I can add another 10 minutes, add another 20 minutes. As you expand and grow and get better, that's how you improve yourself. And again, like Corinne says, it's creating that momentum. It's like pushing the ball down the hill, and at some points it starts to roll. And when it starts to roll and you get momentum behind you, things get way easier. And it gets easier and easier as your pace of improvement and speeds up, and it's fun. And I think when you see people that really start to get momentum, it gets really exciting and it's inspiring to be around. Okay, Sarah from YouTube says, I have thyroidism, so I'm nervous I'll gain the weight back. Have you had other patients with the same disorder that have had a successful outcome? So Sarah, absolutely we have, and it's about controlling your issues, right? And doing this is your body, and you got to figure out how your body works. Everybody's body is different, so if it's about taking the right proper meds for your hypothyroidism and making sure that your thyroid levels are controlled properly, and just being more judicious about tracking that stuff and making sure that you're well taken care of. Maybe you need to be more disciplined on your diet, maybe more disciplined on your exercise, more disciplined on some of these other things. That this is for you, your choice, right? You, if you want to improve and get better, you have to start making these choices, and maybe you have to, maybe given your given your situation, you may have to do just a little bit more. That's okay, just a little bit more. Do a little bit, and you got to figure it out for yourself. Everybody's different. Christina says, I'm 46. I need this procedure to save my life. That's what I'm talking about. I'm ready. Christina, you're the person that I want to help. I want to help these people that have made this decision that they're ready to change their life, because I know those are the ones that get the best results. Because not only do they get the procedure, but they couple it with the lifestyle changes. In fact, they start the lifestyle changes before, and then it carries through. And those are the people that not only maintain, but the results get better as you lose weight. It's awesome. So I'm so happy, Christina, that you found us, and I can't wait to see you. I look forward to working with you. Sandra, no, sorry, it's Brenda. Okay, a client. Okay, Christina says, why? What went wrong? So Brenda says something, just brings something up, and I'm just going to touch on this, but she brought something up. Apparently, Tati said something on Facebook, and I just want to say, look, I don't want to get into drama. I don't want to get into who was done right or wrong, but all I can do is focus on what the recommendations are and how you should conduct yourself and take care of yourself in order to get the best results. So, again, you have to do the right things to get the right results. And once you leave our office, we don't control you. So when you do things that are wrong, you suffer the consequences. That's the way this world works. I'm sorry, it just is. So you're prone to get an infection anytime you have an open wound. Okay, you're prone to swell more if you don't wear the compression garments. This is just the way it works. So some of our patients will be positive influences and be a positive example for you to follow, and other people will do the wrong things and be an example for you of what not to do. So try to focus on the positive. We have lots of women that are doing the right thing and keep moving forward. And so the people that drag you back, you need to release and let go. Because those people, misery loves company. Trust me, this is why you girls want to talk all this drama. Misery loves company. They'd love to pull you back. But when you want to rise and step up to the next level, you have to step above. You have to step above this stuff. Above the drama, above the restrictions, above the fear, and you have to attack your goals. What do you want out of your life? You want to be better? Then you have to make yourself better. It doesn't matter about other people. So what that these people got great results? It doesn't matter. For you, if you want to get the results, you have to take the action. And it's a risk. It's always a risk. Perfection it's not attainable. We do the best that we can, and most times it works out phenomenally well. It's never perfect, but it works out phenomenally well. And sometimes, people are what they are. Some people are never happy with anything. And this is the business that I'm in. I'm able to help some people and other people I can't. I've accepted that. I want to focus on the people who I can help change their lives and advance and grow. And the people who fall off and don't want my help, that's cool. Okay? And let's just focus on the positive, and let's stay with that, and let's just leave it at that. Okay. I'm glad you're here, Christina. I sense good energy from you. I'm trying to keep up with you guys here. Let's see. Okay, Eva Castaneda from Instagram. Castaneda. That's a interesting last name. I've read a couple books from someone with that last name. Okay, hi, my question is, will lipo improve upper inner thigh fat bulge? I already work out at least 4 times a week. Ava, okay. First of all, liposuction will help whatever area we treat. So if we are treating the thigh area, it will help that area. We are simply removing volume of fat. As we remove the volume, the body and everything shrinks down in size. Now the skin, the way the skin looks is going to be a reflection of, imagine like you had a balloon and you inflated it and it was all stretched out and damaged and whatever from gaining weight, but that's like you've blown the air on it. And when you deflate, that balloon is going to have, sometimes it's got this weird crepey look to it because there's damage to the skin. Our bodies are the same way. I don't make this happen. I'm just removing the volume. My job is to make everything as smooth and even as possible. And whatever you have, whatever your body brings to me, is going to be reflected in the results. So some people have more potential, other people have less potential. It's my job to give you the best possible outcome. And it is what it is. We do the best that we can, but again, it's never perfect. And the goal is to be better than it was before. And if we can do better than it was before, you got to try and be happy, right? Because you're not where you were before. You're just, it's a step improvement. Christina Lopez. So better is where I want to be in my life. Absolutely, better. And you know what? Tomorrow, just try and be a little bit better. Just to me, this was a profound insight. 15 minutes is only 1%, and if you change 1% every day over 100 days, that's 100%. Think about this. It's 100% change. And that's what, like 3.5 months? In 100 days, 1% change, 15 minutes a day, and you can change 100%. It's incredible. Please grasp that. 15 minutes a day, that's all. All of you individuals say, I don't have time to do these things, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. You waste 15 minutes every day driving somewhere. Guaranteed. Start listening to books. On all this downtime that you have, say like you're walking in a parking lot, standing in line at the grocery store, I don't know, whatever else the downtime you have, driving anywhere. That's my thing. I like to listen to books, and so that's where I educate myself, and that's where I get my 15 minutes. Now I've worked up to now I do at least an hour a day is what I do personally, but I've worked up to that. Cool. Rebecca left the link for the My Shape Lipo support group on Facebook. Okay. Christina asks, have you ever done this procedure on a person that weighs more than 400 pounds? I have. There's complications that just arise. The bigger you get, there's more potential problems to go wrong. So we have done that, and also the thing is that like some of these results that you see on these people here, they're not going to be the same because it's just different, right? And we're going to have different limitations potentially. 400 pounds is pushing the limits. My tables are rated for 350 pounds, which means that they probably do a lot more. But look, I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to change people's lives. So the 400-pound person, if they're willing and ready to change your life, that's what's most important to me. But if they're using liposuction as a way to continue to eat more and continue to live the negative lifestyle, I'm not interested. That doesn't sound like fun to me. Okay, Itonyara Bentley. Okay, can I stop by without an appointment? No, you cannot. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get anyone to, I'm not going to be there to help you. So if you want to be seen, call the office and, we can meet you there. And if you want to be, to do a consultation, then you should go through our process that we've set in place. And the first step in the process, Ms. Bentley, is to go get our quick quote. And so you can just go to our website, myshapelipo.com, or on Facebook here up on the post here, there's a link to the quick quote. You can get your pricing that way, and then if you're serious and you want to move forward, then the next step is getting your formal consultation. It's $100. You get 30 minutes with myself, and I'll review all your pictures and we'll develop a plan for you. And if you need to be seen in person, we can do that as well. Rebecca is also echoing that the aftercare is so important. Trevor and his team does their part. We need to do our part. So it's like, you know, I've said this before, it's a team effort. You know, we do our part, you got to do your part. And if part of the team fails, then there's going to be a failure. And things happen. Okay, Christina Lopez says, I had weight loss surgery. I was 380 pounds. I am now 220 pounds, but I have a lot of loose skin around my stomach area, no matter how much I work out. So look, Christina, everybody's journey is different. You know, I can't speak to everybody. I can only speak to some, right? So for your situation, it may be different. I don't know. If you have fat to remove, that's what we can remove. If you have loose skin to remove, loose skin is different than fat. So if it's just loose skin, then cutting it away might be warranted for you. But if you have fat cells, then liposuction is warranted for you. And many times when we do the liposuction, it helps the skin to retract better. So that's what I've seen. However, everybody's a little bit different. I don't know what you look like. You got to send in some pictures, and you know, we make judgment for you. Yeah, Christina, your comment, but I actually saw her after the procedure. Didn't look like she was taking care of herself. That's, you know, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's just a matter of you got to take care of yourself. And like I said, some people will be a positive influence for you, and other people will be a negative. You know, I tell the story in the past that, you know, my dad, for me, played a negative in this instance because he smoked cigarettes. He played a negative influence on me, and I chose because he smoked cigarettes and it ended up killing him. I made that decision that, you know what, I'm not going to smoke cigarettes, and it was a positive influence even though he did something negative. So how you perceive things is up to you. And if you guys can see whatever's happening in front of you and read between the lines and take the insight that's going to make you better from it, that's the key. So it doesn't really matter what's happening, it's how you perceive it and how you utilize that information to make yourself better. So if you see somebody that is a negative influence or doing something that you don't want to do, then you simply don't do that. And that's the positive influence. It's amazing. And it works. So easy. Yet it's even more easy to not do, and that's the problem. Ms. Bentley, please call our office if you'd like to be seen in the office for an appointment. And you can get that phone number on our website. And Rebecca's stating that if anybody wants to see her results, and, you know, we've been posting it behind us, but they're on the group. She's had 360 lipo, as well as her arms, as well as her chin as well. Ms. Bentley says, I'm from Utah and I have a trip next week to Las Vegas. Is there any way I can stop by for a consultation? You know, Ms. Bentley, again, please call the office. We're not scheduled to be in the office then, so I would highly suggest you do the consultation process the way we have it in place now. Send in the pictures and we can review it, and while you're out here, if it's absolutely necessary, then we'll work to make it happen for you where we need to see you. But most of our patients don't need to be seen like that. So we're trying to help you, and again, as I said, we are flexible, and if you believe that we need to see you, and I agree, then we'll make it happen. However, please go through our structured process at this point. Okay, I want to see your results. I really want to get this done. Annabelle, please, if you want to see the results, go to the group. Go to our private Facebook group. That's where all these pictures are. That's where all these women are, so you can communicate with them directly. You're welcome, Miss Christina Lopez. All right, we're gonna wrap this up shortly. A couple other questions, if anybody has any. Okay, there's one here, Chichi on YouTube says, after the procedure, do you leave with drainage tubes? So here's one of the big advantages that we don't do, is we don't leave drainage tubes. Now, Advantage, disadvantage, I don't know how you want to look at it, but when you use drainage tubes, these are something that, for one, they can get pulled out. So most of the doctors will suture them in, which means that you put a suture in through your skin, so it tags it to your skin basically, so it keeps it in. So now you're worried about yanking this thing out, and that's a concern, I'm sure. Um, and it's also, if you think about it, it's a increased risk for infection. So you have this tube that goes all the way into your body, and the idea is that it's going to suck the fluid out and decrease the fluid that's on the inside of your body. It's a good idea, but it's like a wick, and bacteria can follow that tube all the way back in and so it's a higher risk for infection. We don't use them, so we don't use drains. It's not an issue, and you do not leave our office with drains in. Nobody does. However, what we do is we leave these holes, these adits, open on purpose. They're tiny little holes. We leave them open so the fluid drains out. And there's advantages to that you don't have the drains. The disadvantages is messy. We put super absorbent pads over the holes to collect the fluid, and it works well when the pads stay over the holes. Sometimes they shift as you're moving, so it's an inconvenience at that point. Annabelle says, I'm 6 months post-op for my sleeve. Can I get lipo done now? Excuse me. Annabelle, our generic recommendations for this is a 6 months post-op, but I would definitely want to hear what your surgeon recommends, since I'm not sure exactly what was done to you. So we'd probably ask you to get clearance from your surgeons, just to ask them if you let them know that you're going to be getting liposuction, and see if they have any issue with that. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope I answered your questions and brought some valuable information, hopefully motivated you to take action to change your life, because it's all about living your best life. Taking 1% changes each day, just steps, minor habits, disciplines. These are the ways to change your life. Liposuction can get these huge dramatic changes for you, but you've got to change your lifestyle. You got to change your habits. So if you're ready, next step, you want to make sure you can get your quote. You go to the quick quote on our website, myshapelipo.com. And if you're serious and ready to move forward, the next step is getting your formal consultation. You get a 30-minute conversation with me where I review your pictures, we develop a plan, and answer everything that you need to be answered to help you move forward. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time.